What's up, guys? It's Valentine EX Turk with another Final Fantasy subject, and we're going to be discussing one of the extra characters. Now, we don't know anything yet. I mean, they say that they took out the extra stuff in the final remake of Final Fantasy VII. Okay, in Final Fantasy VII, they said they're going to have some Genesis parts in it. Now, if they do put Genesis's things in it, obviously they're not going to let you play as Genesis. I mean, they may make you be able to play as Sephiroth in that one flashback between Cloud, but I doubt they're going to have it where you can play as Genesis. So, let me break down to you, fanboys of Final Fantasy, fangirls. Sorry, I need to prepare. I need a script. Oh well. Alright. What's gonna happen is, like, they're gonna have cutscenes of Genesis. You know, when Genesis talks to Sephiroth. Sorry. This is an instant headband. This is not the ones you wrap around. I got lazy. But anyways, Genesis, what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a cutscene where Genesis fights alongside Sephiroth, and it's gonna fit into the story. Just like how they did with Zack and Cloud, and how they were able to fit in Lucretia and Vincent Valentine's story in the in the original Final Fantasy VII. They're gonna probably fit it around that. Like, there's probably be a flashback where Sephiroth goes on a mission with Genesis, something we never seen in Crisis Core before. Probably this is probably gonna be like before the Wutai War, because during the Wutai War, we already know Genesis has was a deserted, soldier, and hid in his parents' house. So we already know that's what happened to Genesis. He became a deserter. So there you go. Now the only way Genesis is gonna fit in the game is and I could see that they probably put Genesis in the remake. Like, it'd be like Crisis Core, where Genesis puts that final push to make Sephiroth go evil. I mean, even though they have not put in the original game, since Crisis Core is out, and Dirge of Cerberus and Advent Children, they're going to make the remake go straight into Advent Children. Like, it'd be like Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Remake, You take the original and probably expand on it if they're gonna do this episodically. So, yes, with that, and then what they're gonna probably do is put like a couple of scenes where you see Sephiroth and Genesis does a mission together. Just a regular mission before the War of Wutai, and then they're also gonna have probably Genesis when Genesis gives that final push to make Sephiroth go to the dark side. Because it was that final push he said where he told Sephiroth was like, no such luck, you're a monster. Congratulations. And it was that final push that made Sephiroth turn into what he is. So the question is Genesis going to be in Final Fantasy VII? Yes, possibly. He's going to be in the new Final Fantasy VII Remake only in cutscenes. Only in cutscenes. They said that before that they're going to have more Zack, more Genesis, more Vincent Valentine's storyline, but they're gonna probably put their first thing of Genesis. Even though Shinra have wiped out any data of Angeal and Genesis, pretty much the world doesn't know they exist anymore. The world assumed that they're dead and gone, and lost into the live stream. That's what the world thinks of them. But I think now you won't be able to fight Genesis in the game because it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense continuity wise. But they're going to have at least a cutscene where Sephiroth and Genesis probably does a mission together. And then later on when we talk about the Nibelheim incident, they're probably going to add that Crisis Core type of clip with more HD graphics. And, and their original Crisis Core Advent Children voice actors. Because it was actually Genesis that put that final push on Sephiroth to go evil. I mean, without Genesis, Sephiroth wouldn't have become an evil person and joined the dark side and burned down Nibelheim. I mean, even though with all that, Sephiroth was just trying to decide what to do. He was panicking. Sephiroth had an anxiety attack. And, of course that stuff, will mess you up. It's that kind of stuff that he read that made him have PTSD because no one told him it. Like I said, if he was raised by Vincent instead of Hojo, again, Vincent would have told him the truth from the get-go. But that's another video. That's another video. The video we're discussing is Genesis going to make an appearance in the Final Fantasy VII Remake? And I say he is. Because it was him that gave the push to the plot and the story and the character of Sephiroth, which the character of Sephiroth is a big part of Final Fantasy VII, as much as Cloud and everybody else. But everybody else plays on those two characters. Everybody else plays on Cloud and Sephiroth. You know, this game is mostly about Cloud and Sephiroth both. So yes, Genesis will be in there to push the plot more. So I think that's a possibility that he's going to be. And this is a fan theory, but I think he's going to be part of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, this is a fan theory. Please don't leave no hate. Like, subscribe, and share this video to any Final Fantasy fans. And may the crystal be with you guys. Because it looks like we're having a huge victory.